Welcome to another episode of Success Never Sleeps, sponsored by My Studio, Kids Love Life Skills, and LC Accounting. All right. Can you hear me fine there, K1? Awesome. Hey, it's 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on the West Coast. I'm Brannon, and welcome to another installment of Success Never Sleeps. As you come aboard, put your name in there, say hello, because I say hello, and share this. Of course, if you share today's broadcast with everybody out there that has a disruptive mindset, that enjoys critical thinking, guess what? You're going to win a 30-minute phone call with me. A 30-minute phone call with who? Me, Brannon Beliso. I love discovery talks, because ideas are free. And to create something out of nothing is really inspiring. It's powerful, and it's really fun. And when you're creating ideas, you never know if they're going to succeed or fail. How often does someone goes, wow, I never thought that would catch, or I never knew that was going to happen, or I never know that was going to go viral, or I never knew this. I heard today somebody, I don't know, through Bitcoin currency, whatever, sold some digital piece of art for like $360 million. Some crazy number. And it's all just ideas. That's what Bitcoin started out being. That's what anything starts out. It's an idea. So to go through that discovery meeting together, for me, is really powerful. So put your name down in the corner, say hello. I love to know who's hanging out with us. Your questions are valuable. Your input is valuable. Remember, we got to stay positive, right? We got to stay positive. And who's our sponsors today? Who are the sponsors? My Studio, yeah, simply the best CRM system out there. And you know what I love about My Studio that inspires me is that when they started out, they needed a lot of work, but they learned, and I learned this at Harvard, get it out is better than get it perfect. And by getting it out there, let me stay close to the camera because this thing will go, whoa, fix. No, I'm out of focus. The Logitech will come back. I promise it will. Logitech, find me. And they said that at Harvard, get it out is better than get it perfect. So for me, it's really important that happens. I'm going to try to fix this camera. Hang on. Get it out is better than get it perfect, right? And so I'm passionate about that. There we go. Oh, wait. You see my belly? Can anyone see my belly? Okay, so get it out is better than get it perfect. And it's really important when My Studio put out their product, they've gone through so many updates and they're getting there. And you know what? It'll be a whole different product 3 years from now. And I think that's inspiring, and that should inspire us as individuals, because I always want to be a better version of myself. And that should inspire my business as well. Absolutely. It should inspire your business as well to constantly that Kaizen theory of constant improvement, of bettering what you do. And for me, that's powerful. Hey, Pamela, welcome back. Sensei Mish, Kat, Marco, Jason. I see a lot of people sitting up there. Don't sit in the wings, man. Stand up and be counted. Put your name in there. Do say hello. Say hello. Say hello. And share it, okay? And we also have Kids Love Life Skills, another one of our sponsors. We're slowly getting there. As I shared with the team, we'll get there when we're supposed to. We're probably about 3 months behind. And that's okay because we're all running schools. We're all having our lives. But we're slowly moving forward to putting Kids Love Life Skills into a subscription-based model. And it's going to be powerful because we don't want to sell badges. We are not a badge company. Right? We are a partner, and we partner with you in life skills educations. So look for things in the near future like webinars for Kids Love Life Skills, excellent kids products. We're going to really work on that. Hey, what's up, Bill Harris? What's up, my brother? Long time. James Walker. Good. You just got off the phone with Bao. That's a good thing. We're partnering up with our It's Time group mentoring program. James, Jason. Hey, what's happening, Jason, sir? What's happening? Then, of course, LC Accounting. I love my sister. She's a jiu-jitsu player and does martial arts with us in Kenpo, and she's a bookkeeper, and she works with several of you that are on here, and she's straightforward, right? She's a meat and potatoes, no nonsense. She'll help you get your finances in order, and I think it's the education process as well. We figured out to date that we've collected about $300,000 between the PPP, the EIDL, the ERC, a Facebook grant, an ad spend, and all these different things, and so far, all of it has been forgiven. And that's pretty powerful going through these challenging times to be able to shore up our loss of revenue by getting $300,000 to help serve our 2 locations and keep us going. Kids Love Life Skills is like a headache pharmacy for parents. It can be. I was working with a parent yesterday, and I think that's the evolution of excellent kids that's really helping us right now through this pandemic, right? You never know. We're not able to hold the pads for kids in the outdoor classes. So, what used to be 5 minutes of parent participation has now become a 40-minute parent participation. And I find myself talking more to the parents. They translate to the kids and do a skill. So we have waiting lists for most of our excellent kids classes. We did one yesterday indoor. Oh my God. That was huge, right? And so we're growing that. So the things that have came out of this are powerful. And talking to the parent yesterday was only their first class. They were doing a free trial class and they signed up. They're going, man, I didn't expect this. This is great stuff for us as parents. So I believe in the evolution of excellent kids. It's just as much a parenting class as it is a martial arts, fitness, and life skills class for their kids. So do look for that evolution of excellent kids, and you're going to witness something really amazing, really amazing, really amazing. Add in the badges, the coloring sheets, the student parent discovery sheet, the student parent handout, the life talk, on and on and on. It's a very robust product, and it will really help create a community of life skills education in your school. And now we can take kids as young as 3 years old consciously without calling ourselves Gymboree in a karate uniform, because you have the parent with the child there, the whole class. Powerful, powerful. So do look for that. Cool, cool, cool. All right, what's some maintenance we got to take care of? I had a challenge last night, and it happened, and I just want to share it because this is life, right? This is life. Oh man, I walk away every time I walk away, I get blurry. So I had posted, I stood on some weird scale that measured body fat and metabolic rate and all that, and I posted it. My body fat is 8.6%, and this thing said I had the metabolic rate of a 12-year-old. So somebody hopped in there and said, "You're full of shit," basically. So what does Professor do? Tell me what I do, everybody. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do if people come at me negative? Who can tell me? Put it in there. Let's see if you guys remember. Trivia. Ding, 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 ding. What is that Jeopardy song? Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, my sister is a stellar human being, right? She's got a good heart and she'll do you right. Love block delete because I don't have time for that. And so this person went off and they went to my son because they thought my son was me. And they basically told my son a new one. And my son said, "Hey, I'm not this guy." Then they reached out to a school owner and said, "Don't listen to this guy. He's freaking crazy." That's nothing new. I think I've told everybody I'm crazy, right? That part's nothing new. But do you see what I'm saying? When I grew up, if I'm watching something on TV and I don't like it, I change the freaking channel. It's that simple. If people don't like what I have to say, then you know what? Love block delete me. I'm cool with that because we're too busy running a race and we're trying to achieve our goals. And I know my cup of tea is not for everybody. And like Bruce Lee said, take what you need and discard the rest. Even the closest people I work with, Jason, Marco, Kat, there's some things I'm going to say that don't fit you. That's cool, right? That's cool because, like Bruce Lee said, take what you need and discard the rest. But to be that, to have such a, can I say this? To have such a hard on for me, and you don't even know me, and I haven't spoken to you. I've never even had a conversation, I believe, with this person, and to attack and go after my son thinking it's me, go to another school owner and bash me. How much time did that take? How many minutes out of his day? For what? Somebody that doesn't pay your rent? Somebody that doesn't influence or support you at all? I don't get that. I don't get that. So be mindful of that. If somebody comes at you, my encourage is what? Love, block, delete. Love, block, delete. And I want to share that because I was pretty proud, man. 8.6%. Look at that. Look at those. Oh, I got to do it. 8.6% body fat. I'm working hard, right? And to rain on my parade, I don't know. Don't rain on my parade because what will we do? Love, block, delete, right? If they only mention that fault, they must have been ignorant of my greater other ones. Yeah, Socrates. If they only mentioned that fault, they must have been ignorant of my other great ones. Wow. Yeah. 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 I like it, James. So I just want to share that because I do get it on a regular basis. And my son was sharing with me that a lot of people will reach out to him after I love block delete and have full on conversations with him. And I said, well, why don't you tell me all about it? Because he says, Dad, I don't want to bother you with it. It's not that big of a deal. He says, I find it humorous in my given day to have full on conversations with people only to find out 20 minutes into their rant that he's not me. He thinks it's funny, and it is. But I'm mindful of it. I'm mindful of it. But if somebody comes at me and they need to talk to me, me, I talk to everybody, and I'm happy to share my viewpoint, not to convince them, but to say, hey, what do I tell you when we're done? Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody. If you really want to be a success, you got to figure it out for yourself. How many people could tell Steve Jobs what to do? Bill Gates, right? Jeff Bezos. What do you think? And we're not in that situation, but we are in a position where we do influence. Marco, we had a similar situation recently. A Facebook nut job was reposting social media posts from martial arts schools in our area, including ours, calling us child abusers because we dared to have kids wearing masks during class. I admit I skipped the love and went right to the block. Yeah, we had somebody like that, right, K1? At One Martial Arts at our group page. Oh, no, 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 no. We had it in the comments. Somebody said that we posted. Oh man, look at this. Let me see if I can fix this freaking thing. Can I fix it? Hang on, you guys. I want to fix this because it's going to make me nuts. And we had the same thing, Marco. They basically said we're killing kids by making them wear masks. It was one of the videos we post of a parent's testimonial, right? And this parent's testimonial was fundamentally um, just the parents sitting there. They're both wearing masks and they're talking to us. Let me see if I can get this. Okay. All right. Now I'm over here. Yeah, I went to Logitech. Let's see. Follow me. Let's see. Can I go over here? See? Logic capture. I just need to walk when I talk because I like to walk my talk. Get it? I like to walk my talk. We're going to just have a good time today. And it happens though. But I'm just saying, change the channel. And if you find yourself in that situation, normally for me, it's because I'm envious of somebody or I'm jealous because they're doing the work that I'm not. And I'm human enough to say that. And when I do that, I don't want to spend my energy bashing someone in that way. You know my position in the industry. I want to give different content. I want to give you the type of content that's going to help move the needle for you. And I don't believe a lot of it is any new or innovative. It's just very repackaged, regurgitated. And if you're a young, green-eyed school owner, you're happy to eat up all this content from the 80s that has a new bow on it. That's it. And I've said it many times, other than social media, I don't believe there's anything really new or different being offered, right? So that's just my opinion, but opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one and they stink, right? So you can go from there with that. But please don't spend any of your time. But I wanted to share that today because I just trip on it, that people do that. And I'll even watch, someone will post, what do you think of this? And then they write a soliloquy that must have took 20 minutes to write. What time do you have in your given day to post a comment that takes you 20 minutes to write? You shouldn't. You should be working on your game, right? Working on your game. Cool? Whiskey Blues Cool. I don't know what that is. Professor, is Whiskey Blues cool? Wow. Yeah, Sensei Mish loves you love messing with the haters. Well, my only encouragement, Sensei Mish, is try to move on. You got bigger fish to fry, right? All right. So let's get into some of our questions. Look at all the comments. But again, one school owner said, "I'm loyal to you, Professor." I said, "No, no, 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 no. You be loyal to yourself. And if you tell me, Professor, you're full of shit, okay, that's cool. We can still love and, love each other. My sisters do it all the time. My team does it all the time. They'll happily tell me I'm full of shit. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I count on my team. It's like when we're at a party together, right? And if I have food on my face and you're my buddy and you don't say anything and I walk in the back, I got a big chunk of lettuce here, I'm going to be pissed at you. I'm going to say, man, you should have told me I had food on my face, right? I expect you to do that. And that's cool because it either strengthens my conviction for what I believe in or it makes me go, and I think about life, right? We need those types of sounding boards in our life because it will. Either it strengthens my conviction about what I believe in or I rethink it and maybe pivot. That's cool. I'm okay with that. I'm totally cool with that. All right. All right. So let's get into some questions, K1. And did you guys share this? 21 people here. Oh, lots of people here watching live. Please share it. Share it and say hello. All you people sitting up in the corner, say hello. Say hello. Okay. I want to begin offering a twice a week classes. I am currently charging $99 a month for one class a week. What would you recommend for twice a week? Double? No. We charge $169 a month, Bobby, for once a week. We charge $209 for twice a week. Okay. So if you're charging 99 for once a week, I would probably charge 139 for twice a week, but I wouldn't double it. Again, look at the demographic of your area and all those different things. And as we're beginning to come out of this pandemic, to be honest with you, we're going to stop most of our discounts. Right, our day camps are going to be $350 a week. No early discount, blah, 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 blah. I'm not a car salesman. We're going to knock that off. I think another thing we're going to dispose of is family discounts. Family discounts, because that's real estate out there on our floor. This spot is worth $30 a class. This spot is worth $30 a class. This spot is worth $30 a class, Bobby. I don't want to do one person, full price, $30. Second person, $30. And then I got three family members, free, free, free. What would that do to a neighborhood, to a property value? This house is $1 million. This house is $1 million. These houses are free. That'd be a bad day for the real estate market. So it's the same thing here, Bobby, but I would not double it. I would absolutely not double it. Not double it at all. Cool? Next question. Hey, Olvin. What's happening, sir? Olvin Adorno. I love your name. Great name. Justin, what is your average show-up rate for people scheduled with trials? What is your closing rate on trials to contract? Justin, I'm going to be really honest. I don't give a shit. Did I say that, Keon? God, that bubble above my head. What? Oh, you need to beep. Beep, beep, beep. You know, we spend a lot of time in our industry now. Don't get me wrong, people. I am big on key performance indicators. You know, I really am. It's how much I make, how much I spend, and how much I put into invest and make more money for me. Those are my three key performance indicators because I've done that. I know, what is your attrition rate? Well, my attrition rate is 3%. Who cares? We're always going to have to go out there and market. We're always going to have to, deal with students quitting. So if we spend all our focus on just scrutinizing numbers, when do we get into serving people really, really well? Really well, really well. So those key performance indicators, KPI. I think for me, they vary. Me and Letitia are always talking about how much money in, how much money out. Right now, we're analyzing all our programs. And one of the things we learned? Talk about not studying key performance indicators. We never really looked at birthday parties, right? Because we looked at it as a way to generate new leads. So that's something people don't look at. We would probably say we get one student for every dozen birthday parties we do, probably about that number. And then when we started really scrutinizing it, we realized we're making $100 profit. That's what I make off every birthday party we do, which is roughly 2 hours, 30 minutes setups, 30 minutes teardown. So we make $100 for a 3-hour birthday party. Nobody would ever study that key performance indicator, right? But coming through this pandemic, we want to assess what programs are genuinely making us money, what are not. So what I would look at, sir, right now, here's an example. We had how many trials this week, K1? 7? And how many signups did we have? 7. Oh, 100% show up, 100% conversion. That's so skewed because next week we could have 20 kids show and nobody sign up. Or we could have 20 kids sign up and 20 kids not show. So we don't spend a lot of time with that, right? We spend a lot of time focusing on when they do show up and that experience that we create for them. Now, I know if you talk to big business people, they would say that's a bad way to run a business. Okay, maybe so, but we're still open through this pandemic, right? I don't know how many schools do the numbers we do in such a small amount of space. So I believe we're on the right track because there's only so many hours in a given day. And I've sat there, honestly, going, okay, all right. 7 trials said they were coming and 7 didn't show up. So nobody signed up. What do you do with that number? Tell me, what do you do with that number? You go back and maybe review the Facebook ad, which you should be doing anyways, right? We're always trying to do variations of our Facebook ads. We shoot different videos now and we try different copy. And when that stops getting play, we switch into another thing. So again, I don't know if I would spend a lot of time with that, sir. I really wouldn't. What I would ask myself is what type of experience you're creating when they do come in for the trial, right? If it's a one free class, what is that like? I do admit when they tell me I need to go talk to my husband, I go rock and roll. We got a great app, download it. Because you know what? Maybe the God honest truth is they need to go talk to their husband. Maybe they're not just trying to, evade you that a lot of people think. Yeah, it's hard to collect data from a no show. I get that, sir. I get that. But when the day's done, let's take that. Okay, let's say I give you, where's Justin's question again? What's my, let me look at that one more time. Okay. What is your average? My average? Well, first of all, that's not a good word to me. I want to be excellent, right? So, what is the show up rate for people with scheduled trials? Well, we had 7 out of 7 this week, so 100%. What is your closing rate on trials to contract? Well, see, that's another bad question. We don't do contracts, right? So, our conversion rate was 7 out of 7, probably because we don't do contracts, especially with this pandemic. I would not do a contract. Everything in the modern day world, did I say that? Modern day world is subscription. You can take this slide off, sir. It's subscription based. It is subscription based, right? And somebody said, well, that's not true. Well, my medical insurance is month to month. I can stop paying it at any time. I won't have medical insurance anymore, but I can stop it month to month. Someone said, well, that's not the same way. It's like with your apartment or your home, right? No, my mortgage might be a 30-year, mortgage, blah, blah, blah. But if I stop paying it, they foreclose and take my damn house. So you see where I'm going with that? And a house is a necessity. To try to compare martial arts to your house is a bad one. And I see people do that a lot. People will do that a lot, right? They'll compare, well, I don't let anybody put their membership on hold, right? If you went on vacation, could you go to your landlord and say, can I stop paying my rent for the month because I'm not going to be living in the house? That's different. A house is a necessity. Martial arts is not. So do I believe that because oh, thank you. Abel, that's very kind. Thank you, sir. Do I believe because we had 7 trials this week and 7 signups this week at our Millbury location that we always bat 100%? No, no. Again, average and contracts aren't 2 words that float in live your best life. It simply doesn't fit what we do. So I think, again, I would look at the question. See, sometimes we look at questions and we're quick to answer. Sometimes I look at questions and ask myself, why are they asking that question? Right? So what you're fundamentally by asking me that question, Justin, is you're saying that your conversion rate sucks and it's average and it's maybe because you use contracts. So that's what I would look at more than the question you pose. Cool? All right, next question. Lots of people sitting there. Please say hello. I want to know you're here. Stand up and be counted. Put in your name, where you're tuning in from, the name of your school, and you could win a 30-minute consult with me. Cool? And then make sure you share this, please. Make sure you share this, please. Okay, I've been looking at possibly scaling my business. Your thoughts on tripling down on a single school or expanding into multiple schools? Why or why not? Are we in Vegas gambling here? Tripling down, right? I mean, I'm so big on the power of words, right? And this was posed in another way. Is this the question, K1? Okay, somebody posted that, should I keep one school or multiple schools? And Sam On piped in on this and he reposted it at his own page. And I feel the same way. What we're really discussing here, Michael, is what is your number, right? How much revenue you want to generate. Sam On owns one school with 100 students. He is a multimillionaire because he took whatever revenue he had and early on he invested in the stock market and created passive income. Right? People have that myth. You own multiple schools, they think you're a rock star and all that. Okay, I know guys out there with 6, 7 schools that make less money than I do. I own 2 schools. Yeah, but see what we're talking about, what is your number? I have a certain number that I need to retire on. Okay? A certain number. Let's just call it hypothetically 8 million. All right. That's my retirement number. Off that 8 million, if I have it invested properly, every piece of data has indicated, every piece that I can generate 8 to 10% revenue. So if it's 8 million, 10% is what? What? 800,000, right? 800,000. That 800,000, I pay 40% taxes. I'm still looking at roughly what? 400, 450. I can live on $450,000 a year. I can do that. See, so I think that's more the number that you need to look at. I was looking at my portfolio. I made like 60, 70% last year. That's smart business. That's smart business. My consulting, we still did really well. Letitia, I know you gave me crap about that, but we did really well last year in the consulting business with all of the online webinars. See, the goal is, I think, more is creating those multiple revenue streams. And now if you pose that same question to Michael Gerber, who wrote the E-Myth, he says in his book, point blank, martial arts is the worst business to get into. It's personality driven. It's dependent upon the owner being there, and it's not systems. Right. So, okay, great. When I read that book, I said the first thing I need to do is create a systems driven business that's not dependent upon me being there. And that system must be able to train Joe E. Public to teach martial arts effectively. That's it. That's it. And that's really the long and short of it. So that question is kind of skewed, right? People think bigger is better. No, no, no. No, no, no. It's really deciding what is your number. What is that number that you need to retire on? What is it that you're comfortable with, right? That's really it, because there's so many ways to make money. And we do understand more schools don't necessarily do it. That's why I'm not big on active student count, right? I used to be, because that was the watermark. We'd stand in a speakers meeting, and it's like, whose dick's bigger, right? How many schools you got? Well, I got 10. How many students you got? Well, I got 1,000. And we'd sit there like that. What a stupid conversation. I think that conversation should be, how are we changing the world? What have we done this year to become a better person? That's really what we should be doing, but that's what happens in those speaker meetings, right? That's what happens. And so it's the same thing here. It's not how much money I make, it's how much money I profit. If I make $1 and I spend 50 cents, I have 50 cents to put into the bank and invest. If I make $1 million and I spend $2 million, I'm in debt, 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 debt. So that's really the better question. Jason, right. And this is it. And this is why we opened the second location. I would open a new location to be able to provide for my team better. Me too. That's where my heart and soul is at this point in my life. I'm 59 years old. That's my version of success. I want $1 million school with a 35% net. Post-pandemic, we were running 2 locations, $2.1 million at about a 35% net. That works for me all day, every day, right? All day, every day. Just like when we came into this pandemic, it was smart to lay off 30 people, right? High school kids, they stay home. They only do an hour birthday party on a weekend. No big deal. Second group made more money with the stimulus and unemployment than I could give them. Third group, we've kept on it full. But the smart move was I came back to work. And I sucked. We even let the janitor go in Millbrae. I don't mind cleaning my toilets. I don't mind doing any of that because it's smart business. You want to make more money right now? Cut your expenses. Cut your expenses. Cut them. And like my papa said, there's nothing above me. There's nothing below me. Humility is the key to being successful. And everyone says, well, that's BS. You're pretty confident. You're pretty egotistical. Yeah, it's the yin to the yang. You can't be humble to any degree unless you have a certain amount of ego. It just doesn't work that way. That's why it's the yin yang sign, right? You can't be rich unless you understand what poor is. How many rich, entitled kids are all messed up because they never understood poor? They have no yin to the yang. It's the same thing here. If you want to be truly successful, you better be ready to fail. You feel me? Who's with me on that? Cool, cool, cool. All right, so let's take a quick break on this, K1. So share with people, what do we got coming up in November? You got that slide anywhere? November, we have It's Time Live Change coming up. Change. And I love that word change. It's my mantra. You see, I got all kinds of slides and memes. Everything's about change. We are in a world of change, and change is happening faster than we can imagine now. We can just imagine. Time's just rocketing, and changes are happening with every breath. Open, close, indoor, outdoor, virtual. Da, 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 da. It's changing with breakneck speed. And I welcome change. I love change. And that's where the yin and the yang. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Who's heard that freaking cliche? Well, you know what? Yeah, because the more people are changing and accepting change as part of success, you got those people standing still, and they're the ones that are failing and closing right now. I read a stat at Robinhood, 150,000 businesses gone across the United States. Gone, 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 right? Big box stores like Sears, gone, 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 because they didn't pivot. So the more things are changing, the more people hold on to the past and they suffer from a fixed mindset. So we want to have a growth mindset. And that's what change is all about. I know as an individual, it's not just about success mindset. It's not just about changing my relationships. It's not just about changing my team and the way I treat them. It's not just about changing my leadership. It's not just about changing my curriculum. It's freaking everything. So in those 4 days, that's what it's all about. It's change. We're going to talk about change, work on change. I'm going to work on your mindset. We're going to look at your business, all those different models, and everybody that's changing here constantly. James, I saw your video post the other day. Thank you for your honesty, sir, about what you're going through. You know, that sense of honesty and transparency, I think, is vital. That's a huge change for many people. You know me, I'm out here with my ass to the wind. When it comes to social media, I post my stuff and I'm out there, and people do think I'm crazy, and that's cool. Every great genius is a little bit crazy. You don't think Elon Musk is a little bit crazy? Yeah, he's a lot bit crazy, right? I saw him on Joe Rogan smoking weed, being all crazy. He's crazy. And it takes a little bit of that because crazy people aren't willing, to walk the straight and narrow. They're willing to go off, right? They're willing to take chances, right? And then, yeah, you're right. James, the best Western, it's called the Best Western El Rancho Inn. Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep, yep. Jason, the percentage of gross income that should go to your rent, they say, is about 20%. 20%, Tish? Letish, can you put that? Again, that varies depending where you look. I think it's 20 to 30%. See, it's so much different here, sir. I know people in Florida, 10,000 square feet, they're paying $3,000 a month. My San Francisco location, 3,800 square feet, is 12,000 a month. The Millbrae location is 15,000, sir. Is 15,000, Jason, sir. So I would take a look at that. I think it's relative to where you're at. What I would be more concerned with, Jason, sir, is location, location, location. I'm a huge advocate of location. And some people feel with social media and Facebook ads and all that, they can be in the middle of an industrial park in the middle of nowhere. Some people believe that and they're quite successful. But for me, I like the fact that my parents can walk outside and go to Trader Joe's and Starbucks and all that. I find that valuable. I like co-branding right away with trusted brands that have been around forever. And if I can be sitting side by side to Subway Sandwich, to Trader Joe's, to Office Depot and places like that, I'm cool with that. That works for me really, really well. So we prefer that. We're big on location, location, location. See, Jason, we are in 2,000 square feet and they pay $700 a month for rent. God. You know what $2,000 would cost you in San Francisco right now? Probably about 7 grand. The guy down a couple of doors down, he's got about less than 2,000 square feet. He's paying about 6 grand a month. See, so it's all relative, Jason. I think, again, I would go back to what it is you want to make, right? What does this model support? So for me, $1 million school, I needed to have about 2,000 square feet of mat space. 2,000 square feet of mat space, I could put roughly 30 people on the floor. 30 people on the floor times $20, right? That's what? $600 a class. 5 classes a day, $3,000. 7 days a week, $21,000, right? You see where I'm going with that? Are you following me? Yeah. Are you following me? So, again, 2,000 square feet, $20 a person, right? So what is that? $600. Do 5 classes a day. We're now at $3,000 a day. Times that by 6 days, let's say 18,000. Times that by 4, on and on, right? But in our we're able to do multiple classes all at once. Thus is how we got our number, right? And I that's how I would work. I would work it that way, Jason. And it's all about that number, right? It's all about that number. I know people with 10,000 square feet with 100 students in it. That's a waste of space to me. A huge waste of space. Okay? But I believe Letitia, did you put it in there? Did you put it in there? Yeah, she was there. I thought she was there earlier. But I believe you might Google it for me, K1. I believe roughly it's like 20 to 30% is what should go into your rent, right? So you figure I'm paying 12,000 in San Francisco. That's $1 million school. So that's roughly, 10%. 100, that's 100,000 a year, about 10%, right? Millbrae did 1 million something, and it's 15,000. Times that by 12, what is that? What is that, right? What is that? 150, 170,000, 175, somewhere in there. So yeah, right? So I think it's about 20%. Yeah, see, but they're good numbers for me. That's why when people think I'm crazy, right? People think I'm crazy. Oh yeah, you got Best Western for $60 a night? The one in Millbrae, Sensei Mish? Is that for its time in November? Huh? No, I see it. Sensei Mish said he got it for $60 a night. Good, 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 good. Hey, Letitia. Oh, Letitia, how much are you supposed to spend on rent? What do people tell you? But again, when I look at something like a Starbucks, right, in the prime areas, they don't own that property. Home Depot doesn't own their property. I think one of the people who try to own their property is Chick-fil-A, if I'm not wrong, and McDonald's. But most of these big businesses, they're leasing, right? That's why they went bankrupt. Many of them, they're leasing commercial space in a shopping mall. They don't own that. So I know people are really big on owning stuff. Um, Oh, good. Sensei Mish said that. Use Letitia's name when you call the hotel. Oh, man. Whoa, look out. Look out. Don't mention Brannon Beliso, who lives in the Millbrae community, or It's Time Live. Don't mention One Martial Arts, a landmark in the Millbrae, community for freaking, 6 years now. I've lived here for 14. All you got to do is mention Letitia when you go to Best. Hey, next time I go to Best Western, I'm going to go in there and say, hi, I'm Letitia's brother. That's what I'm going to say. See, about 20 to 30%. How do I know that, Jason? Because I'm very big on education. You know, whatever I don't know, I can learn. And that's the humility side. I love learning. So there you go. There you go. There you go. Cool. So 20 to 30%. Again, look at Jason's rent. That's crazy, right? That's crazy rent. That's crazy. So get booked. So as I'm doubling back to It's Time Live Change coming up, the hotels under our special is really cheap. That alone will save you money. I think it was normally like $200 a night. And if you're here for the 4-day experience, which you should all be, get that booked right away. Make that investment. If it can't happen, we'll give you a refund. But California is rolling. Here in Millbrae, I was reading, we're already at the yellow tier, but they can't skip. So by next week, we go to orange, which is 25% occupancy. Then they have to wait 3 weeks. That's just the way it goes. And then they think we're already moving to yellow. So do I believe by November we'll be able to execute this event? Absolutely. 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 I have no doubt in my mind. So get those tickets now. Be part of that 4-day experience. It'll change your life. And that's really what this is about. Yeah, see, look at Kat. She's paying $3,000 for 1,500 square feet, right? It's on the cheaper side for Austin. So it just varies, Jason, but 20 to 30%, sir. Again, I would be willing to pay more for location, location, location. Instant cred, to have credibility because you're parked right next to a Starbucks or something like that. It's just powerful. And I want to be where people congregate. If I know my demographic is moms and kids and families, I want to be in areas where families congregate because it's free advertising. What I would spend in advertising, I make up for with foot traffic and visibility where we're at. Make sense? I hope it does. Next question. Wow. Okay, there. I need a little advice. Our dojo has been very busy lately. We have added about 40 people in the last couple of months. Good. That's 20 students a month. That's average, right? And that's really good during this pandemic. This makes our class sizes larger. We offer classes 5 days a week. I had a parent complain this weekend that their child class has gone from 12 to 20. Still a 1 per 4 ratio. Wow, you do one instructor for every four? That's really good numbers, sir. It's not a COVID concern. It's they're not getting as much one-on-one attention. I've tried to explain that this sudden boom will slow down. It's our busy season. How do larger schools or schools have a sudden growth deal with this issue? Wendy, I think really what it is when we have new students come in, right? When we have new students come into our school, that's one of the main questions, Wendy. People will ask you how many students in a class. And what we share is it can be anywhere from 10 to 30, but we work with a low student to teacher ratio, right? And if it's not a space issue, right? If it's not a space issue and you're working with a 1 to 4 ratio, wow, that's powerful. What? Yeah, I'm done reading it. Wendy, and that's really the bigger thing. And again, I think it's in educating your parents that when they walk into school and see 30 people on the floor, they go, wow, this class is crowded. What we try to do is give them that analogy. But please be mindful, whether you see 10 kids on the floor or 30 kids on the floor. In your case, Wendy, we have a 1 to 4 ratio. That would be somewhere in my promotional materials. That would be in my conversation with parents. That would be, technically at my website. So it's an education. And your culture would know that. It would be right down to people sitting in the wait area and this mom going, you know what's so cool about this school? They have a 1 to 4 ratio. 1 to 4. And then I would use the public school analogy. I know it's one teacher for every 25 to 30 kids. One teacher for 25 to 30 kids. So we're very proud to say that in our school, we have a 1 to 8 ratio. But if you have 1 to 4, Wendy, that's really good, really good. And I think it's just a matter of helping that parent see things in a perspective that whether there's 10 kids on the floor or 30, it's a 1 to 4 ratio. So they're still getting the same attention, the exact same attention. Cool? Next question. Thank you, Marco. Right, as Marco's saying, they come back to It's Time every year now, every year, and I'm grateful for that. For me, I love facilitating it. They say to teach something is to learn it twice. There's not a single It's Time live I've facilitated that I do not become a better person, that I don't learn something, and become and make that change, right? Make that change, as Michael Jackson would say. Denver, $2,000 a month for 2,500 square feet. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Next question, please. Okay. So I didn't read the question, but the first thing, okay, the first thing before I read the question, Len, is do you make? All right. That's not a good thing. Okay. Just stop there. Everybody, do you make? I'm going to stop there first. Okay. Do you make? That's not good. Disneyland doesn't make me do anything. They don't make me. They don't make me. So, okay, I'm done with that. Let me go to the next part of the question. Okay. Do you make your students and instructors bow when they enter the dojo or the facility or neither? I've had a few people saying they do not bow to anyone, but it is part of a tradition of our martial art. Your thoughts? Well, I love you, Len. That's the first thing I'm going to tell you because I'm an old school martial artist, Len. And I grew up in a world where bowing is protocol, right? You walk into any dojo. I do to this day. I don't care whose school I walk into. I walk into the school, the first thing I do is I bow. And that's how we bow. And it's just me. That's just me, Len. And I remember the time I was running my father's school. He was going back and forth to the Philippines, right? Looking for a bride. He had been married here 3 times and he wasn't happy with it. With I guess those are odds, right? Not doing too good there, right? Maybe I should marry an American woman. So he was going back to the Philippines to look for a bride. So I was running this school at maybe 14 years old, 15. And he came back. And I remember a 4-year-old didn't bow to him. And he was pissed off. He was pissed off. And I get that. He's still the head of the school. He's the master of the school. I get that. But I said to my papa, I said, Dad, you know what? You know, he's a 4-year-old kid. He don't mean no harm. He doesn't mean to be disrespectful. And you haven't been here in 6 months. He doesn't know who you are. Then, of course, he got mad at me. He said, it's your job to educate them on who I am because I'm the master. I get it. So I think because I did, and also being in San Francisco, we have such an eclectic group of people. Like we kneel down and meditate, right? After we bow in our class, we kneel down like this and we sit and we meditate. This guy said to me, I do not kneel for anybody. He says, I only kneel when I go to church. I said, well, maybe you could pretend your happy ass is in church, right? But it didn't go down that way. But what I did say to him, I respect that, sir. So you're welcome to stand when we meditate. I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that. See, I think what that really comes down to is being secure in your art and yourself as a person and the culture that you create. I mean, with the exception, if you're sitting on your cell phone talking my waiting area, I'm going to go up to you and say, excuse me, please, can you take your phone outside? We're not going to hang a million signs with do this, don't do that, don't do this. We don't do any of that. Any of that. That's our choice. Okay, that's just our choice. So if they don't want to bow, that's okay. That's okay. Does it compromise the integrity of your art? No, it shouldn't. And if you're going to alienate a bunch of students and parents because they don't want to bow, why would you stop people from being their best through martial arts because they're not willing to follow a ritual or a prescription that you want to make them do? Right? But will I still bow to you? Yeah. I share to people, right? In America, you shake hands when you say hello. In Japan, you bow this way and say hello. We teach a Chinese system of martial arts. So we offer a bow this way. And if I see somebody and I go, hey, how you doing today, sir? And they don't bow back, I don't get my panties in a wad and go, I'm the professor. But if it's a young kid and I go, hey, sir, how you doing today? And he walks right by me, I'm going to say, excuse me, sir. The proper thing to do is say hello when you come to somebody's house. Can you please say hello, sir? That's more important than the bow, is it not? I think so. I think so. Right? So that's really, I think we need to pick and choose our battles with that, especially with people being politically correct and some people for their religious reasons will not bow. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah. The first thing we teach as a white belt requirement, like Kaywan's saying, the first thing we teach them in our school is respect. Their first stripe, their yellow stripe, they have to demonstrate respect. And then they show us the basic stances. That is the very first darn thing we teach. And we don't even call this a bow. And that might help. We don't call this a bow because every time when I was working with kids, every time I said, okay, everybody bow, guess what those freaking kids did? And I'm going, no, 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 no. So what I say, respect. And this is what they do now. So this is no longer the connotation of a bow, like you're bowing down to me. This is a sign of respect. So maybe change the word from bow to respect. That worked for us really well. Really well. All this, what's going on? All this dialogue. Is nobody listening to me today? Well, they got this whole dialogue going over here. Shout out to Marco. He spent an hour with me at Kids Love Life Skill. Yes, I can't wait to see everybody. Jason, it's time is a must on my calendar. Can't wait to see you all. Yeah, I bet you can't wait to see Letitia. She's got the hookup at the Best Western, right? Hey, can I get some more towels? I know Letitia, right? Could you see that? Can I have a little extra breakfast here on my plate? I know Letitia, right? You gotta be telling them, man. I think I'm gonna walk over to Best Western after this, go where they got the cookies in the lobby, and I'm gonna say, I'm not staying here today, but can I have a cookie? I know Letitia. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. All right, next question. God, we're having fun today. Last question. Good. What type of camera and programs do you use for your instructional videos? Our instructional videos were shot on a very high-end Sony special SLR or Canon camera. In here we're using a Logitech. Today's iPhones are really, really great. They're really great. I think what's more important if you are going to use something like an iPhone is get the proper mic hookup. right? Because when you're doing instructional videos and you move way back here and you're losing the volume because the camera's way there at a long shot, that's not a good day. I think more than the camera, I saw another guy who's very into it posted lighting. Lighting is important, you know. So if you can't see it here, but see, I got lights everywhere. We got we have lighting everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Hey, what happened to my light? Did I unplug it? Yeah, I unplugged it. So you know that I think is very important. You want to have proper lighting. See, so this makes me look beautiful. Helps me look beautiful. So good lighting's a must, but if you can afford it, Sony's got some really good cameras that you can record video into. But honestly, today's Mac, I mean, think about that. You look at a decent SLR is what, $700 at Best Buy, right? Think about your iPhone. That freaking thing is over $1,000. Some of them. The cameras in today's iPhones are magical, but you should get a good Rode mic or something like that to go with it to back it up. And of course, you know, decent editing software allows you to clean up a lot of that stuff because it's digital, right? But so what I'm really more about is understanding when you shoot those videos, what it needs, right? Hey, Eric Roach, what's happening, sir? Make sure you go back and watch this. Yeah. Yep, lighting and sound is very important because the imagery is being captured digitally, and most lenses today they're pretty simple, right? The old day of the glass mirror lens, blah blah blah. It's pretty much gone to the wayside because of today's digital. Everything's digital, and if you can take that binary number and you can manipulate it in an app or something like that, it's a good day, right? It's a good day. So do look into it. Yeah, Cat's using the C920 at the dojo, right? But you know, we learned that the other day, Cat. Me and K1 were playing with the microphones, and the microphone on the Logitech is a piece of crap. It's a piece of crap. Why? It's an $80 camera. It's an $80 webcam. So it can't compare. So if you really want to do instructional videos right, try to look at a Sony SLR. There's some really good ones. The Canon, you know, something that has a lot of memory, because you're going to find once you start recording videos, it sucks up all the memory. So you want to make sure that you either have a bunch of memory cards, which is a pain in the ass, or it's going straight to your computer, right? But I really want you to pay more attention to with those curriculum videos, other than good lighting, a good microphone, right? And a good camera, is what is the composition? What's going to go into that video? If you look at our instructional videos, we have a decent background. The lighting's great. I'm mic'd off. But I realize what this is, sir. This is an instructional video. When I see someone doing a pumse like this, you know, and they're doing a pumse full speed, I'm like, whoa, time's up, pencils down, because that's not an instructional. That's a demo video. I need to go to myself, okay, we've already taught this to the kids in class. So what is it that we need to look out for? Well, okay, everybody repeatedly punches with their thumb out. Okay, so I'm going to make sure, all right, for our yellow stripe, we want to make sure when we do this set that you close your hands this way, you put your thumbs over the top. That's the proper fist if you want to earn your yellow stripe one. And then I'll demo, you know, whatever it is, the blocks or whatever it is that we're teaching. So we know that we've already taught it. And from teaching it, you know, there's general things nobody in the class is getting well, to rechamber, front kick, et cetera, et cetera. That would be part of the focus. And an instructional is an instructional video, right? But at the end of every instructional video, if you look at our videos, which are public, they're everywhere, you'll notice we have somebody demo it at full speed. This is what you have to do to earn your stripe. See, so that's the big thing. Here's the instructional. Now, this is the way you have to do it for your stripe. Because I don't want someone trying to earn their stripe the way I'm teaching it in the instructional. It doesn't make any sense. So always make sure of that. See, so how we talk about composition? Very important. Because here's my analogy. If I take an ugly subject, right, and I put them in a really nice picture, they're still ugly. I mean, and the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I'm just using that as an analogy. If I take a really beautiful subject and I put them in a very cheap photo, they're still beautiful. It doesn't make a difference. So that's what I'm trying to say here is, yes, get good lighting. Yes, get a good microphone. Yes, make sure your camera is decent, but not a $3,000-$4,000 camera. I don't believe that's necessary. Just really plan it out. Do your shot sheet. Be very clear on what that is, you know, before you go to shoot. And again, look at our videos. Ask Jason. He uses our full Kempo Karate curriculum. You can ask him. He moved from his system into ours. They're very well thought out. And I think that's one of the reasons transitioning from in-class to online was almost seamless for us. Our ability to administer curriculum at a very high level systematically became my focus. And that was well over a decade ago when Roland Osborne taught me about rotating curriculum. I understood that the food in my restaurant is that curriculum, and I want to deliver it at the highest level. Cool? And I hope that helps. I really, really hope that helped, right? If you ever want to translate to Japanese, I could also probably help with that. All right. Yeah, do you know what? We have Kids Love Life Skills in German, and we're looking to expand the market. And so we do, because I believe that life skills are universal. And we know with today's translators, it's really easy to do that, right? Of course, you have somebody who speaks Spanish very traditional might look at some of the translation and goes, what the heck's that? That's like, English Spanish. What the heck? But there's some very good translator programs out there. So yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We have it in German for our excellent kids. I want this to be worldwide. And that's part of what is in the works. It's in the works. We want to cultivate this into Mandarin. We want to cultivate into Spanish, Portuguese, Korea, everything. That is our goal long term. So yes, absolutely, sir, but not today. We don't have it in Spanish yet. Cool? All right. We're almost wrapped up here, man. We did really good today. Also, if you use Logitech, you can flip the camera in your computer software so people can see you looking like a mirror. Yeah, that's important too. When we shot those original videos, Kat, the thing about it, see, right now I'm using Logic. So this is my right hand. So if I do something like lightning ram, 1, 2, 3, I can do it this way. But you know what? Guess what happened? All my curriculum videos, I did everything backwards. I can do every kata on my left side, iron fan, swift arrow. I can do every kata on my left side. It's pretty trippy. Yeah. Yep, Marco's writing it down. Spanish version, writing it down. Hey, Marco, look into that. How difficult would it be to run our support materials through a translator? And then maybe have somebody at Fiverr just proof it, right? Have somebody at Fiverr proof it out, Marco, and tell us that. Huh? Maybe we can begin right here. We can start Kids Love Life Skills. We have one new client. Everything starts with what? One. One punch, one front kick, one stripe, then you got a yellow belt, right? Same thing here. I can do lightning ram, left side pretty much well into the last attack, and then my brain fights me really hard. Try doing, do a iron fan, go. See, you can't do iron fan on your left side, can you? I can all day long. I can do any kata on the other side. Good. All right. So let's start winding this thing down. I started the top of this with the love block delete. And guys, I'm passionate about that. I really am. Because some days I have to love block delete my own stinking thinking. I do. Because I'm a human being. So what would a day like that be like? I'm having one of those days where I need to love, block, and delete my own stinking thinking. Then somebody at social media comes at me with stinking thinking. That's a double whammy, man. That's a bad day. So it became a habit, right? It became a habit for me. You come at me like that, I don't read most of it, to be honest with you. I just automatically, and then I feel liberated, right? And I feel liberated because Oprah Winfrey said it so well, and maybe it is with age. I get too old for that shit. I'm just done with it. I want to be around loving, positive people. Because if you love me and you're positive, when you call me out when I'm being a butthead, I'm okay with that. Because you give me so much love that I'm very open and receptive to any kind of creative criticism you offer me, right? We get that with our significant others. We get that with our teammates, and we're okay with that. It keeps us humble as a leader. But if I don't even know you and you start attacking me at Facebook, love block delete. So what I'm really sharing with that is be careful that you remember when to love block delete your own stinking thinking. That's important for me too. It just really, really is. And when the day's done, I know I don't do contracts, belt fees, upgrades. I don't believe in that. But you know what? There's people in our industry that are very successful with contracts, upgrades, black belt clubs, belt testing fees. More power to you. It's like me trying to say rock and roll is the only music in the world. If I tell that to a rapper, he's going to think I'm crazy. If I tell that to a country artist, he's going to say I'm crazy. When the day's done, it's all music, and it just depends how you want to do it. Right? So when I speak passionate about what I believe in, it's because it's what I believe in. I'm the only one who's got to live this life. And that's why I'm so passionate with what I'm sharing with you. Look at my social media posts. If more, they're more amplified about not listening to me. Don't listen to anybody. Figure it out for yourself because I'm witnessing this in everybody that I work with. How many of you have read tons of book? And you have a bunch of useless information and you're none the wiser for it. How many of you have had consultants, gurus, programs, and you're still at the same place you were 10 years ago? The one common denominator is what? You. It's you that's got to make those changes. And when I made those changes for my own personal life and I made those decisions for me, I'm happier, I'm more content, but I put myself in the line of fire because of it. Why? I want to empower people. And that means calling out the craziness that's out there. And the extreme of it that I share all the time, I like watching these cult things because I don't get it. But it really mystifies me that somebody can tell you that, a UFO is coming down to Earth to pick us all up and take us to heaven. What drugs are those people on? So we're going to put on a Nike tracksuit or an Adidas tracksuit. We're going to take some and kill ourselves. That's crazy that people could be brainwashed to that capacity, right? That they have no backbone, they have no identity, that they're willing to do that. You hear me say it all the time. Sheep being led to slaughter. Please don't let that happen. That's why you open a business. That's why who you are. So when the day's done, don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody. Figure it out for yourself. But make no mistake, that will never stop me from standing up and saying, hey, 99% of our industry is not making the wealth. 1%, the allegory is making all the wealth. That's not cool. So we as consultants are giving you bad information. I'm here to change that. And I do that with the small school owners like you, one school at a time. May not be glamorous every day. I may not be getting filthy rich, but I have other revenue streams. My heart and passion to do this with you is very specific. And that is the conviction I stand by to go love, block, delete when somebody comes at me. And I encourage that to everybody. I encourage that to everybody. Cool? All right. So let's thank our sponsors before I announce today's winner. Our sponsors, we have my studio, Kids Love Life Skills, LC Accounting. Thank you so much because it gives me a voice to do what I do. And I love aligning myself with disruptive people. Get my studio if you don't have it. Get Kids Love Life Skills, you need it. And LC Accounting, better have it. Cool? Cool, cool, cool. And where are we going to be on November 13th through 16th? It's Time Live Change. Please get signed up. We have 17 spots left. I don't blow sunshine up your behind. Hurry now. Only 2 spots left. No, 3 people have booked. Jason, Beth Block, and Ashton. 3 people have booked. They got their hotels. We have 17 spots left. Book it. Get it done. It's a wonderful event. The food's good. The people's good. The experience is life-changing. And then after we do that, then we'll book the one-day experience, right? Which is roughly 50, 60 people. And we got a lot of other perks with that. You have 15-minute discovery call before it happens so that you get in tune with me and I know what you need. We're going to allow you 3 months access to my complete e-learning library, right? We're going to have a Facebook group a month before the event to get everybody primed for the 4-day experience. I want you guys to hit the ground running. I don't want you to come here like deer in the headlight going, what the hell's going on here, right? I want you to be ready. So all those other things are going to be in place. Again, always the Kaizen theory. I want to improve that 4-day experience. And if for some reason we're not able to do it, full refunds. Cool? And that's a promise. That's a promise. All right. Who's our winner today, K1? The 30-minute phone call with Brannon. Today's winner is James. Dun, 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 dun. All right, James, you're the winner. Big hand for James, everybody. Put it in the comments there. Thank you, James. Thank you, James. Thank you, James. Thank you. Congratulations. All the disruptors give him love. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much, everybody. I love what I do. It's because of you I have a voice. Like I was talking to somebody today. It was Abel yesterday. Share this with people. Share your growth. Share the experience. It doesn't help if I toot my own horn. It really doesn't. I just look like some conceited little guy here in a black hat, right? Talking his game. If you believe in what we do, you're the reason why we do what we do. Share it with as many people as you can. There's so many jaded, disheartened, downtrodden school owners out there going, every one of these consultants are full of it. They just want to rip you off, take your money, and then tell you you didn't do it right. But if you upgrade to my Platinum Mega Mastermind program, I'm going to crack the code. There, we cracked the code. We're dropping bombs. All that stuff is just a bunch of salesman tactic to blind you while they're ripping you off. And I say that passionately. And that's my viewpoint. Cool? All right. Hey, I'm Brannon Bliso. I want to thank everybody for being here today. I love you. I love you. I love you. Until we talk again, what are you going to go out there and do? Live your best life.